we going today, brother?
I have no idea, my brother.
All right, well, that's a fun way to start an epi.
I was thinking of just reading through Leviticus and then calling it a day.
Ooh, my favorite. Yes, please.
All right, chapter 1. The Lord called Moses and spoke to him from the tent of meeting, saying, "Speak to the people of Israel, and say to them, when any one of you brings an offering to the Lord, you shall bring your offering of livestock from the herd or from the flock."
Amen, brother.
Hallelujah.
That's what I got for today, boys.
That's the most normal passage in all of Leviticus. It just goes crazy from there.
Yeah. Talks about burning stuff after this, so. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, we could revisit the conversation we had at Chili's, because if you sit there and look at it in hindsight, that was a really good conversation.
Alan, what did we talk about at Chili's?
So, one of the first things that we talked about was faith and fear. Are they intertwined? Now, we know that when we say the word fear, we're talking about fear of the Lord. It says in the Word, it says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And so, with that in mind, we definitely kind of broke it down and sort of discussed what is the main link between those two things.
Yeah, that's something. I think you texted us the day before we met up, and I think me and Sam were both we checked our phones. We're like, "Ooh, that's a doozy." We just put them right back. Put them right back, and we're like, "Oh."
I mean, I was getting a tattoo while I saw that. I was like, I don't need to mess with this right now.
We'll address it a little later. But no, it's a good question. And your story on inspiration for your question is incredible as well. But I think what we ended up kind of deciding on was that they are related, right? Because it talks about, like you said, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. It also says the fear of the Lord is to hate evil. And then with faith, it talks about, if we don't have faith, we can't please God. That's Hebrews 11, I think 6. And we have to have a certain foundation of faith to be followers of Christ. But the fear of the Lord is what I believe helps us grow. And helps us grow in our faith as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's funny how the Lord speaks in cinema. I think that was another big topic that we definitely broke down. For those who may not know, if you get Garrett talking about the Matrix, he's gonna break down all sorts of kingdom principles that are in that movie, and he's not wrong. It really is fascinating to be a believer and watch a movie like The Matrix. But I think it's funny because, where I got this question of are faith and fear connected was actually from The Dark Knight Rises, which is about Batman. I won't go into the whole thing about it, but basically, there's a point kind of in the middle of the movie where Bruce Wayne, who plays Batman, is in a bad way, and he has to climb out of the pit, right? Have a sort of faith when doing so, kind of eliminate some of those dependencies he may have leaned on prior. But if you ain't ever seen The Dark Knight Rises, I think what's cool about Christopher Nolan and some of his movies is there are a lot of biblical principles that you can kind of pick up on, which I think is just fascinating, always seeing some of those underlying messages in famous movies that we watch day to day.
Yeah, I think whenever you're going through movies like that as a believer, if there's some sort of like a redemption arc or some sort of savior or something, I mean, it's easy to make comparisons to our faith.
Narnia. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. That's good, Sam.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
No, that's a great one. It's funny you mentioned Narnia. They've made 3 movies out of Narnia, and one of my favorite interactions is, I think, in the third one, where they're about to like go back to the present world, and Aslan, who kind of represents almost this Christ-like figure throughout the whole show. You had his death and resurrection in the first one, big old lion, coming back from the dead. But what I like about that one scene in the third one is, he's like, I think it's Lucy, but he's like reassuring Lucy, and he's like, in your world, you know me by a different name. And it kind of like alludes to that mystery of comfort of like, who is this, sort of supernatural presence that offers comfort that he's referencing, and it really just kind of makes the mind, ask a lot of questions.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Narnia's a little bit on the nose as far as like...
Yeah,
C.S. Lewis.
I mean, obviously, like, it is the story of Christ, just in a different presentation. But me and Sam, when we were at LCU, they were given some sort of a class, and they showed a couple clips from Narnia, the second one, Prince Caspian. And it had been so long since either of us had seen it. I love the first movie, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I think it gets better every time I watch it.
Yeah,
but
it's great.
We were talking to each other. We're like, man, it's been a while since we've seen Prince Caspian. I remember not enjoying it when I first saw it. We're like, maybe we were harsh on it. Let's go back and watch it. I still didn't like it.
That's funny. Yeah.
It was just, I don't know. It was just, what was it, Sam? That
it just, it's hard to explain. It's like it didn't have like the story behind it like the first one did at all. I
think they kind of changed the focus from Aslan, and he was just kind of a cameo in that movie, and that was about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little bit in the middle on that movie. I mean, yeah, it's compared to the others, it's the least, probably least engaging, I would say. But what I do kind of like about some of the underlying themes of the second one, especially in the beginning, is, what does Narnia look like without Aslan? I thought that was super interesting, because kind of in the first honestly, I'd probably say maybe hour and a half, they're going back and looking through the ruins, and when they get down in that hidden bunker where all their gear is, and they see the picture of the lion, and it just brings back all these memories of when they were in that place and living large, and you can kind of see the desire for Aslan to return, who in the Narnia movies represents Jesus, as Garrett said. And so I don't know, it's a half and half movie for me. So
I also dislike whenever movies or franchises they resurrect dead characters. That just drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Which obviously our Redeemer, Jesus Christ, resurrected from the dead. But that's cool. We're cool with that.
Good save there. Good save there, pal.
Hold on. Yeah, I
was about to say,
you're good.
We're going off the deep end over here.
That was a good save there, bud.
This is going crazy. No, but in Star Wars, it's somehow Palpatine came back.
I knew you were going to go there. I knew it.
Prince Caspian, the White Witch, she's just a drop of blood away from being back. That's these characters just don't stay dead. It's you can't trust in film that if you see someone die, they're gonna stay dead. There's no guarantees.
Yeah. No, I mean it's just so funny you say that. Cinema is definitely a roller coaster. Sometimes a lot of movies do really good at kind of including hidden messages. Others kind of just get repetitive. I think that's kind of how Garrett's favorite movie series, Star Wars, especially the last three. Garrett was such a big fan of those. Especially kind of how those ended up going. But nah, man. I mean, I love movies, man. I especially love movies that make you think. I don't know if y'all have seen this one, but one that's really big, and I know my dad loves this movie, is Shawshank Redemption. I don't know. Yeah. Like that scene in the end. Context, right? He's in a jail, right? He spends whole movie in jail pretty much, but towards the end, spoiler alert, he manages to kind of get out. But like the symbolic.
You don't even say spoiler alert. It's from the 90s, bro.
Hey man, there might be people who've never seen it, but it's a life-changing movie because that scene where he like climbs through the pipeline of just all this crap, like sewage, straight up sewage mess, and that scene where he gets out and he's like looking up to the sky and the rain comes and he's like raising his hands. And the one takeaway I had from that movie is sometimes you got to go through miles of just crap and nonsense to get to the glory. And then he, at the end, he's like living in freedom, and then his buddy comes and visits him, you know, and it's just such a good movie.
That's a bar, Alan. Golly.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. No, it's such a good movie. But
I think whenever the other guy, Morgan Freeman, he gets out of jail, and he finally like locates the thing that I don't even remember that Andy had left for him.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, he located it and he joined them like on that tropical island, and like when they got like the reunion as the movie ended, it was so like wholesome. I loved it.
Yeah. Now, man, if for those who might be listening who actually have not seen Shawshank Redemption, it's a little bit of a rough movie at times,
I was about
but
to say,
it is so worth
I
it.
don't know if we should endorse Shawshank Redemption.
No. It's just like the overall message of Shawshank Redemption is really incredible. But no, man, it's one of those movies. You know, it's like, man, you really just get a lot out of it.
I mean, it's not like The Matrix is like super clean either, so you know.
Yeah.
It's a lot cleaner than Shawshank.
I don't know. I think we should get the Garrett explanation of finding the kingdom in the Matrix.
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Let me pull out my binder here.
Oh Lord. Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Okay.
No, you're good.
So, second and third one, they're cool movies. They don't really capture the essence of what I'm discussing like the first one does. The first one's perfect. So, I mean, basically, it's this dude, Neo.
Dude.
Mm.
Yeah. He's living, you know, he's got a boring office job, you know, just living day to day. But anyways, he gets tracked down, and he's basically presented with the fact that everything that he thinks is real is not real. Like his normal day to day life is just, it's like a simulation. It's a complete lie. And so he you know, he's presented with the two pills, and he can either live in the false reality and just live in comfort and whatever, or he can fight against the powers that be and try to save humanity.
Mr. Anderson.
Help your. I think my favorite line from Agent Smith is they got him. They're like interviewing him, and he's like, "You help your landlady take out her garbage."
Yeah.
But anyways, you know, we actually did discuss this at Chili's. So they have the one guy that's part of the team that's helping the resistance against the, you know, the robots are the ones that control everything. And so the one guy, he like betrays everyone, and he makes a deal with you know, Agent Smith and the robots. But he's like, you know what? He's like, I know it's not real. He's eating a steak. He goes, it just tastes so good. He'd rather live a lie and live in comfort and completely just avoid any kind of uncomfortability, struggle.
Mm.
And I think that's just that part specifically was so apt. Where people, I think a lot of people just living day to day, they know that this isn't it. Like, what day to day is not, like, there's got to be more to what they're doing. But in the end, whenever you start asking those questions, you got to take some leaps. You got to face some difficult choices, and ultimately, like, just following the status quo, following the way you've always done it is comfortable. And if you just keep on that cycle, you know,
Yeah.
you're never gonna have to deal with anything. So
Yeah, just like scrolling on social media.
Yeah.
yeah, Sam, let's talk about doom scrolling.
You're eating your fake steak every time you swipe.
That's right.
Doesn't it taste good?
Just
Oh,
letting your brain roast as you scroll nonstop.
Yeah.
But no, you put it very well, man. Like, the scene where he is eating the steak and he talks about how it's so good. Like, I mean, how is that like so often the case when, people, who may kind of go in and out of church, like, they hear about sin, right? We present the fact that, hey, we're sinners, right? We are in desperate need of redemption. And people, hear the gospel, they know these things, they understand these things, but at the end of the day, they don't accept it. It's kind of like this just basic principle of like, yeah, like, I know what sin is, and, I kind of grew up in that understanding, but like, I'm okay. Like, I'm okay, living how I'm living. I'm okay with, having different affairs, partaking of different substances, whatever it may be, and it's kind of like, it really kind of brings about like this kind of sadness almost, of like, man, like, that's unfortunate, and it honestly gives you more of a heart to kind of go out and, evangelize harder, share harder and stuff like that.
I think now, so culture's job, and I've noticed this more recently than ever. Culture's job is to keep you submissive and to keep your mind occupied. So, I mean, you look at entertainment. Listen, I'm not against sport. I'm not against sports. I love sports. I'm not against movies, TV shows, all that. But, like, whenever your mind is, like, completely occupied with those things, and that's your life, and, I mean, a lot of people, like, they live and die by what happens on the field or what happens on the screen. And if that's all you got going, like, you're controlled. I mean, that's essentially it. And you have to legitimately, like, look around and, like, oh wow, like, you got to wake up. And that's in the Matrix. He had to go through the process of being, reborn, where he wakes up and he's got all it's pretty grotesque. He has all those wires in his nose and hooked up to him all over his body. He's in this tank. And he rips it all out and he looks, and I mean, it's just millions of pods just like his, where people are asleep, just getting fed on by the robots. Like, people think, oh, what culture does, it does what it does and it's okay. No, like, dude, culture, it's intentional. Like, there are things planted in culture that are used to drive certain narratives.
Yeah.
All the pop singers of today. Alan's favorite, Sabrina Carpenter.
Okay.
I mean, just making things okay, and presenting that to, like, younger audiences. It's just it's not okay. And rap music, like, dude, used to it was rock, and rock ruled the charts, and there was a switch where rock was always about rebellion and this and that, and then there was this switch, like, culturally, where it's all like rap and hip hop. And I mean, if you listen to the lyrics of any of these current rap songs, I mean, it's filthy. I mean, it glorifies violent lifestyles, substance abuse, sexual abuse. I mean, it's crazy.
It's all about thugging.
It's all about
Yeah, no, and that's
Sam didn't choose the thug life.
Listen.
Thug life chose him.
I know what tattoo you should get. You should get Tyler Thug on your forehead.
Where are you
Tyler,
from? Man?
Texas,
I'm from Tyler.
So it's funny you say that, Garrett. Like I think that was a really solid point. It and I was kind of looking it up while you were talking just to make sure I had it right. But it reminds me of this saying from a famous I think he's like a Scottish writer and politician. But he says let me make the songs of a nation, and I care not who makes its laws. And basically what this quote is indicating, that like if you look at a nation, take for example the United States, right? You talk about like all the kind of music that's out there, all the kind of music that's popular, the rap, the pistol slinging, whatever music, the thug life, which is Sam's favorite motto, and stuff like that. And you can look at that, and it kind of tells you everything that you need to know about that nation. And this is kind of where you get into like, the culture, the arts, the movies, that are being put out. Like, dude, this is so bad, man. Like, you see some of the horror, or kind of hear about like some of the horror movies that are, coming out, that are just all about just this demonic nonsense, these entities, like, and it's like, bro, like, you would kind of be surprised about like how many people are actually like drawn to these movies, and it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I think there's a fine line of wanting to be entertained versus, I don't know, kind of being like, enthralled with it in a way, and I don't know, like, I think if one were to kind of look at those numbers and really maybe like look into it a little bit, I think a lot of us would be pretty shocked.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate we're doing this now. When I was going to lead the next episode, this was going to be my whole thing, and I wanted to have a lot more stuff prepared than I actually do, because I just find this so fascinating. So let's look back TV, for instance. Okay, you go back to like, the 50s, 1950s, 1960s. I think 1950s is around when the Dick Van Dyke Show was on. I could be wrong. I'd have to.
I think you're right.
So, you got to think during that time, you wouldn't even have actors in the same bed, right? So like they had separate beds for the show, and that's just where we were culturally. And then I don't know where it started. Like I said, this is something I wanted to do a lot more research on. But so I wish I had more with me. But
no, you're good, bro. You're good.
At some point, you start having like the sexual revolution. You start having all this stuff pushed and normalized. And now, I don't know about y'all, but like it's harder to find a movie without like a sex scene and with one.
Yeah.
And it's just been so normalized. And whenever culture starts doing that push, and it's starting to pop up, what it does is for people, it normalizes, it conditions them to think that this is normal.
Yeah.
And with our faith, there's a similar thing that is called like searing your conscience, where you have maybe a conviction that something's wrong, and you push through it, and you've done it so many times that you don't even think about it anymore. You don't even have that conviction, and it sears your conscience. And Paul says, it shipwrecks your faith. And so that's why it's important to really to not be conformed to the world, like Romans 12:2 says, but be transformed by the renewing of our mind.
Yeah, no, man. That's very well put. Like, and this definitely goes to something we did talk about at Chili's that was said a couple times, was that we as humans definitely love to create meaning. You know what I'm saying? Like, we love to create our own meaning. I remember saying this. Like, look no further than philosophy, right? How many isms are out there that are just man creating some, form of truth that's just like so away from the Lord, and, we talk about creating, like, look at those movies, look at, sort of the differences in, how shows and how films have, used to be super, traditionalist, super, reserved a little bit, but then it's like you said, right? It's like now you can't even find a movie without, things getting, down and dirty pretty much. And it's like, oh my gosh, like, I just want to be entertained, and, I mean, it opens all kinds of doors that, people can get into, and the conditioning word that you use is a very good word there. And it can be nonstop unless you kind of just pump the brakes on what we watch, on what we take in.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. If you go back 15 years, a lot of movies that were rated R back then are not like the same type of movie with the same type of like adult content in it are rated PG-13 nowadays.
Sheesh.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
I know this for a fact because I've watched the movie. I enjoyed the movie. The Godfather. Godfather was rated R. I think that came out in like 70 something, 72 maybe.
I think so.
Anyways,
Rated R. I mean, now it may crack PG-13. That's
maybe. It's like rated PG.
even in PG-13 movies now, I think you're allowed like one F word.
Yeah.
If it's to be
I think I've heard that,
PG-13 still.
That's crazy. It used to automatically mean R if the F word was in it. Like, that's it. It's just crazy.
Yeah. But one thing I wanted to circle back to, so we've definitely talked about like some of the negative aspects of cinema. A little bit ago, we had talked about like positive takeaways from movies. I want to return to that for a second. One of the movies, and I'm sure all three of us can agree if we've seen it, most movies can really paint a good picture of maybe what this was like. The movie that I'm specifically talking about is The Passion. I know that with some young adults groups, I know with some churches, the weekend before Easter Sunday, they'll sit down as a family or as a group and watch The Passion. If you know anything about Mel Gibson, he's kind of got like a Catholic background. And so it's funny, when you watch The Passion, you can actually pick up on like several Catholic themes throughout the whole, crucifixion and all that stuff. But that's just a movie that is about Jesus that I really think does a solid job of sort of bringing into reality, like, hey, this is probably very much what it looked like to be crucified, which I thought was interesting.
I think everyone should watch it at some point. It's a tough watch.
It is.
But I don't think every movie that we watch should be just mindless entertainment. I think if we're gonna stretch our minds and challenge ourselves, we should watch things that are challenging. And that one is. It definitely captured the suffering better than any other film.
Yeah.
But even that movie, man, like Scripture said, he was marred beyond recognition. So I mean, like, even that movie, it probably didn't even come close to what Christ endured.
Yeah.
Regardless, great movie. I think there's a couple of the scenes that I thought were a little strange in the movie, but
yeah.
I heard an explanation for one of them. So I think it was when I think it may have been when Jesus was getting whipped, and his mom Mary is out in the crowd, and it cuts to the character, the actor that plays Satan, and they're holding like a demon baby.
Like a demon baby, yeah.
And I was like, this is just so weird. And it's not pleasant on the eyes, that little demon child like reaching for Satan's face. The explanation I heard was that like Mel wanted to create like a dynamic between Mary and the devil at that point, where it's like Satan is showing like, oh look, I care for my children, look what's happening to yours.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's kind of a cool thing. She was probably I mean, no telling the mental anguish she was
Yeah.
facing at that point. So I mean, after hearing that, it made a little more sense.
What about the little creepy kids?
The little demon kids chasing around Judas.
So wild.
Dude, I watched that when I was a little kid. That scared me. I had like nightmares from that movie.
I would not recommend for kids. What age did you watch that?
It was the second year or the first year it was out. So when did it come out? 2008.
Oh, good lord, I have no idea.
2009.
Oh my God, Sam. Yeah, that would have scarred me, man.
Yeah. I think I saw it for the first time when I was like 17, somewhere around that time. So.
Yeah.
I was like 9, dude.
That's too early.
Got him early.
like when the crows like land on that dude's cross, just pecking out his eyes.
Yeah.
Oh.
But what I love about this movie, for those listening who may not have seen it, was the whole movie is in a different language, which kind of really sort of gives you a perspective, culture. Yeah. But no, the whole movie's in a different language, and I thought that was definitely a very immersive element, because good lord, man, like, you have to think, like, these actors probably had to like drill night and day just to be able to speak that language and keep good pace. And so I thought that was a fascinating way to go about it, because it's so easy to just go English. I mean, and they could have gone so English that, I mean, it would have rivaled the message, where they're talking about, Jesus and his crew pulling up in the neighborhood, and it's just like, I mean, how far could you have gone,
We need to do an episode about Bible translations.
Yeah.
So I can roast the Passion.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
Let's read out of the Mirror Bible for a little bit.
The Mirror.
Then you'll be like, okay, maybe the Passion is more grounded than I thought.
Yeah. I think going back to the Passion of the Christ, not the Passion translation. I think one of my favorite scenes from that movie is when Peter denies Jesus for the third time, and I think it's only in one of the Gospels, but I think it may be all of them, but I think it's just one where it says, he denied him and Jesus looked at him. And in that scene, Jesus is getting beat, and he just kind of like looks up, and Peter, I mean, just anguish. And it's like, how many of us have been in that situation where, maybe not verbally, but through our lifestyle, we've done the same, and then Christ looked at us. It's just, it says he went out and wept bitterly. I mean, that's just brutal.
Again, man, and I know obviously recently it was Easter, and so I think it's apropos, if you will, that we're talking about, the Passion of the Christ. I love, like, stories of how when actors go into movies, especially Christian movies, that, like, they may not be too familiar of the faith, and they come out of it having, like, a greater appreciation for Jesus or Christianity or, those biblical principles or whatever. So you can look this up, what I'm about to share with you, but there was a story, I think I read about this, like, maybe 3 weeks ago. So obviously, I had to look it up just to confirm. So the scene where the people are choosing between Jesus and Barabbas, right? So apparently, when they were filming that scene, the dude who played Barabbas, they told him to kind of get in like this crazy mode. But this whole time, he hadn't seen the actor who played Jesus kind of in the beaten down makeup or whatever, the cosmetic they had on him or whatever. They hadn't seen him yet. But in the scene, they're like voting, of who to release or whatever. But then Barabbas, acting all crazy, he turns and looks at Jesus, and Jesus just has this this face on him. And Barabbas got like this funky face on, but then when he looks at Jesus, his face straightens, and you can just see like the perfect glimpse of like, yo, this is the Son of God that I'm like looking at here. And all of a sudden, like all that mess of whatever was going on in here just vanished. And it's like, boom, like here's the face of Jesus, the Son of God. And it's like, whoa. Like if you rewatch it, look out for that, because it blew me away when I saw it.
That's a great scene. It's brilliant. And I think that actor that played Barabbas ended up giving his life to Christ on account of that movie.
Yeah.
And being a part of that, which is incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, no, man. Dude, the power of cinema sometimes is crazy. Like, think
about it like this. Cinema is art, right?
Yeah.
Art is, I think God created art originally to glorify Him, right? And to enjoy it, to be something that we can enjoy with Him, you know what I'm saying? It's like painting, music. What's like the most like popular way to worship God? Music. That's art. Which, cinema and film, art, right? It's all in the same vein, in my opinion.
Yeah, each and every human on this earth, all given and granted talents and seasoned by the Creator Himself, and whether we use those gifts for Him or not, they're still there. He creates us and makes us who we are, all the while knowing that some are going to use their gifts and talents to not glorify Him and to do the opposite. It's kind of crazy.
It's kind of crazy that I was thinking about the other day. God created us with 5 senses, right? Right? Taste, touch, sight, hearing, and smell, right? There's actually a specific category of art that you could put into every single sense. And I think that's kind of crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
What art can you smell?
Scent, like different mixes of scents and oils, and that's the essential oil crowd. But like,
the essential oil crowd.
No.
Ruthless.
If you even look back in the day, like in the temple, they had certain scents and like oils they burn, incense, right?
Yeah.
It's like a form of art.
Essential oils are not the same thing.
I bind that in the name of Jesus. I bind that.
For instance, like a candle that has like different things mixed together, the smell, right? You can consider that art, right?
Okay.
Because it's giving you something. Taste is food, right? God put all kinds of different spices and ingredients and stuff to
My
make food.
favorite art.
Yes. Painting and that type, like visual art, obviously. And then for the ears, it's music. And then for touch, sculptures, textures, like different patterns of weaving and all that type of thing that
That's
you can
cool thought.
feel.
That's
Yeah.
cool thought.
And if you think about it, cinema pulls like 2 of those things together, the visual and the sound, which is why it's very powerful, because you have two of them going at once. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, now I was thinking about this just because of Sam's comment. But what was a movie that you saw at way too early of an age, and it can't be
my
Passion of the
goodness.
Christ? Yeah.
me,
Anybody? Yeah. Everybody.
man, me and my brother watched. I guess my brother sneaked this movie. I can't remember where he got it from, but he got it from somebody, and we put it into the Xbox 360. Okay, I was probably 10 or 11 years old, and it was The Hills Have Eyes. It was freaking terrifying.
I don't know what that movie is.
It's like it takes place like Arizona or whatever, or something where like there was like nuclear testing, and there's like these mutant monsters that like kidnap these people. Like, bro, I was like 10 years old, dude. Or maybe
no.
even younger. I might have been like 8. Okay, like I remember it freaked me out, and I was like so scared, man.
I'm looking this movie up while I'm... Oh yeah, that looks fun. Yeah, that's way too early to be seeing something like that.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, gosh, that's a tough one for me. I'm thinking of two. I'm trying to remember which one I watched first. But I watched I think oh yes, okay. So we had this little I had this family reunion with like extra family. I think it was like with my stepfather's side of the family. And I remember one night we were staying at this fancy hotel in San Antonio, and my stepbrother and some of his cousins were getting together to watch a movie. Good Lord, I think I'm maybe like 13 at this point or something like that. My stepbrother's probably like 20 something. But I remember they watched Insidious, and I was like, I wanted to watch it too because I was young and dumb. And like, you sure you want to watch this? I was like, oh yeah, I'm cool, man, I'm cool, I can handle it. Dude, I didn't sleep for like 4 hours after that. It was so bad.
Brutal.
Yeah.
I think
you ain't missing nothing.
No. I think for me, in the movie itself, the whole movie as a whole, it's not terrible. One of my favorites to this day. But I think there was one scene that kind of scarred me as a kid, and that's Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. I don't know how old I was when I saw the scene where they open the Ark.
And they just get cooked.
That scared me to death. When seeing that dude's face melt. People's heads are blowing up. The angels are shooting holes through everybody.
Oh my gosh.
It's pretty brutal. That, and also Last Crusade, where the dude drinks out of the wrong cup and
Withers
ages like that, and his hair's shooting out of him, and he's it's gross.
That reminds me, it depends on what year that Batman movie came out, but it was a Batman movie with Two-Face in it, and
oh, The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, what?
Or
year
no, The
did
Dark
that
Knight.
come out?
It's The Dark Knight. I think that came out. Oh my gosh, I know this. That came
Alan,
out.
our Batman apologist here.
Yeah, I think it came out in the mid
Historian.
2000s.
Yeah, so let's say I'm just gonna take a guess. If it was 2007, we watched it in theaters with my family.
Yeah.
When it first came out, I might have been 7 years old, 8 years old when I watched that. So this is before Hills Have Eyes, Passion of Christ, anything, right? I'm a little kid, and I see Two-Face, and it looks crazy. It's all burnt,
Yeah.
and dude, I actually had nightmares for a month. It freaked me out. I didn't like that. I remember I was actually scared.
It's
crazy.
funny. I remember trying to go see it with my dad, and he was like, "No, you can't watch this with me." And he went to go see it with some buddies, but no.
I mean,
yeah, I can see that.
I watched The Walking Dead when I was 10.
Oh my
Dude, The Walking Dead, brother.
Oh my god.
I remember Rick Grimes when I was a little kid. I was like, "This guy is it. This guy is."
Dude, Rick
the
is
guy.
incredible. Literally the best character. Love Rick.
Oh man, but yeah,
stick together.
You know what's crazy though? This is a crazy story.
Atlanta.
This is crazy though. Listen to this.
Together.
So me and my older brother would we binge watched it. I think season 3 was on TV. So season 1 and 2 were out online or whatever, and season 3 was currently on TV. So this was probably 2011. I was 11 years old. Me and my brother binged it, and we didn't tell my mom because obviously my mom would have freaked out. We didn't tell my brothers because my younger brothers would have snitched. And at the time they're 8, right? Dude, listen to this. This is crazy. So, no, actually, we watched it maybe a couple weeks go by, and my younger brother Caleb's sleepwalking really late at night. My parents are went off to bed. My younger brothers went to bed 2 hours prior, and my younger brothers, they sleepwalk a lot, and Caleb wanders out, and he's speaking in his sleep. He's saying, "We need to get to the woods. The walkers are coming." No, I'm being 100% serious. But he doesn't even know what The Walking Dead is. Like it's crazy. It was like almost like a weird spiritual thing. Like it was weird. And my mom was like
Sheesh.
asking us like, why would Caleb be saying this? Like, and I think she looked it up and found out it was Walking Dead, and she was confused. And me and my brother were like, oh crap.
That was Garrett's favorite show, by the way, was The Walking Dead.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. It was too
But
much.
isn't that crazy though? Isn't that
That's
crazy?
wild.
That is crazy.
Wild.
Like there's something spiritual going on there. That's for sure.
Dude, I do not endorse The Walking Dead. Stay away from it.
Yeah,
Listen.
it's
I
pretty
tried
bad.
to watch it. I tried to watch it a couple years back because I arrived late to the party on watching things. I don't think I really watched anything that my parents didn't show until I was like maybe 17 years old.
Oh, Garrett, you bad boy.
I was pretty. I feel like I was pretty sheltered.
Dude,
so.
this guy was sheltered ridiculously. Like it's crazy.
I know.
It was like the first time I ever heard secular music. I was like graduating high school. I'm like, what, dude? I was like, it's like, bro. The first time I heard Eminem, I was like 10, bro. Like what?
I kind of look back and I'm like, I probably could have done without watching some of them episodes for sure.
I think we all have. I think we all have a little bit of that.
Yeah. But one thing I kind of wanted to ask you guys, a little bit ago we talked about, the power in a movie like Passion, the power, kind of in witnessing the crucifixion and all that. And if you don't have an immediate answer, I can give you one. But what is one Christian movie that you've seen that just absolutely like floored you? Like it hit you hard, made you think, maybe convicted you in some areas, and just really kind of stirred up the spirit in you.
I have a little bit of beef with
Left Behind.
Left Behind. That'll make you think.
Today.
Oh
Good
my
call,
gosh.
Sam. I have some beef with a lot of Christian movies. A lot of them can just be so outlandishly cheesy.
They can.
And so a lot of them. I remember when my folks started watching The Chosen, I didn't want to watch it because I was just like, I don't enjoy these kind of things. And then I watched it and I was like, this is kind of good. But but I feel like a lot of them can just be really cheesy. I'll cheat. I'll kind of use what we were talking about earlier. Narnia, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Like I said, it gets better every time I watch it. The whole thing with Edmund and him going off and trying to hang out with the White Witch and, betrays the group and all that. It's like, we all hated him when we were kids watching the movie. And then it's like, that's me. Like,
Yeah.
I am Edmund.
Mm.
And
Let's make a T-shirt out of
I am Edmund. Oh my gosh, every scene with Aslan in that movie, I mean, is just
It's incredible.
Unreal. And, Liam Neeson's voice, I mean, just
That
perfect.
scene when he walks out of the tent and that
for the
music's
first
like
time.
playing in the background.
Oh,
it's
so
incredible.
good. I love whenever he goes in to talk with the White Witch about what to do about Edmund, right? And she comes out and they come to a decision, and she turns and she goes, well, how do I know you're going to keep your terms or whatever?
I know where you're going with this, yeah.
And he fearsome roar, and she sat down real quick. Golly, I love that movie, man. Every time I watch it, it makes me cry every single time.
Yeah.
It's just,
and then I think
it's so good.
I think he's like don't mock me, witch, or something like that. He's like don't
the
quote
deep magic to
yeah,
me.
the deep magic. I was there when it was written. I was like, sheesh.
Why don't they make movies like that anymore? Like ever? Like it's so rare. Like it's either right on the nose, like let's do something straight from the Bible, and it ends up being cheesy, or it's like not it. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like Narnia is the only time that's actually been nailed really good. As far as like my movie catalog goes, you know, there could be something else out there, but
Yeah.
I think the way that was a Disney movie. You know, Disney picked up the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which now
They don't do that now.
well, I think they were, you know how movies are nowadays, where you got everything has to have to be a reboot. I think they were trying to do a reboot of it, and it's probably going to be a woke reboot.
Oh
for
my
being
gosh,
honest,
man. That's horrible.
so nothing's sacred anymore. You know,
Yeah.
but you know everything has to have. There's always an agenda in everything now. It just seems like like older movies, you have richer storytelling, better characters, all this. It's just about the story, and now it just seems like there may be a story, sure, there's characters, sure, but it's about promoting an idea.
Yeah,
that's,
I think
that's even
Go ahead.
worse in video games than it is movies, man. That's like every video game coming out, it's like trying to cram something down your throat.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
I think to answer your question, I kind of want to piggyback a little bit off what Garrett said. Like, again, I mean, I think it just comes full circle to the reality that we love to put our own meaning on things, right? This can obviously be for good. This can obviously be for bad. I think in a lot of the movies that are out now, a lot of it's bad, man. Like, in my opinion, Disney, which everybody loves Disney, man. Like, Disney has had such an impact on, you know, culture, but it's like Disney is not good now, man. Like, some of the movies they put out now are just like so bad. Like, you know, I remember when I was working with a ministry called the Mentoring Alliance. You know, we were kind of in charge of like picking Disney movies for the kids. And I had like looked up some of these newer ones, and dude, just like the amount of crap, like just straight up crap that was like promoted in some of these movies is horrible. But I think to go back to another part of your question, Sam, where, you know, why do certain Christian movies turn out so cheesy? I think it's a little bit of trying too hard, you know, in terms of, you know, oh man, we gotta really hammer, you know, Jesus in this, and we gotta hammer the essence of the encounter, and it's like, no, just write, I don't know, an organic script, and, you know, there's no need to, you know, move 100 miles a minute. You know, sometimes less is more. Yeah. And so it's like, I think we could definitely adopt that for sure. One movie, and Garrett, I think you've seen this one. The movie that I was going to say from earlier about movies that just wrecked me. So this movie is about one of my favorite Christian singers. It's called Ragamuffin, which is about Rich Mullins.
Yeah.
If you've never heard of Rich, let me tell you something, man. I was going through a rough patch, and I watched Ragamuffin one night, and dude, I mean, I lost my marbles, man. I mean, I was just on the floor, just weeping. I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, the Lord is so good, you know? Like, Rich had a very interesting life, and I think the movie kind of really brings that to life. But what I loved about Rich Mullins, for those of you who don't know who he is, I mean, he was called the poet, you know, because his music was just, it just was so different from what believers had heard during that time frame. And it really, his music really just brought like a different approach or a different sense of who God is. And I think the movie really kind of brought that to life, you know, of how he kind of like simplified the faith. And, you know, it is an incredible movie if you haven't seen it. It's called Ragamuffin.
Yeah, similar experience. That movie destroyed me. I think when I finished, I was in a similar thing. I mean, I finished it, and I was like, I could sell everything I have and go to the nations, like, right now.
Yeah.
It was so good. And, you know, there's never been an artist like Rich, and but like before him and like to now, there has never been anyone like him. He's so unique. And I think that's it's refreshing if if you're a listener of K-Love or Christian radio, where it's like all the songs sound the same, and it's like
Same
you got
song
this
every
guy.
10 minutes.
Yeah, and it's like you got this guy that, his lyrics are just masterful, and just the visualization you get just from hearing him, like it's unbelievable. So yeah, that's a great pick.
Never seen it.
You got to watch it, man. It's so good.
Yeah, you should. Really good.
One of my favorite scenes from that movie is when he's going through like this super hard patch. He decides to meet up with this pastor that he had kind of been listening to with support, and they're like sitting in this cafe, and he's like eating an ice cream or whatever. And the pastor asks him, he looks at him, he's like, "Are you a free man, Rich?" And he's like, Rich is kind of like, I don't know, what do you mean by that? He's like, a free man wouldn't have to ask. And I was like, sheesh, that line there kind of makes you think a little bit, And then he went about and talked about the word ragamuffin, which is what the name of the movie, right? And the idea of like the ragamuffin gospel, right? Which is like this idea of like, if I am merely like a beggar at the door of God's mercy, then that's enough for me. I just want to be so close to the Lord as I can be. And I just thought him breaking that down in that scene was just magnificent. It really makes you think, which I loved.
Yeah. Might be time for a rewatch.
Yeah,
Hey,
man,
maybe
no,
that's
it
something we
makes
could do together.
There will be
or the Super Mario
weeping.
Galaxy movie.
Or the Super Mario Galaxy movie.
I think I like those.
Oh gosh, finding Jesus in Mario will be our next episode.
We'll watch it next Saturday together, and we'll bring a report Sunday.
Yeah.
Gerda Lloyd's podcast will start doing movie reviews.
Yeah. Well, no, boys. I mean, this was a good breakdown. I think it really kind of makes us think about the arts. I know we talked on movies. I know we talked on cinema, and sort of the deeper meanings of that, and just like different types of music and all that. But yeah, I mean, I really think it is truly fascinating to see how God is revealed in just the things we consume day to day.
Yeah, 100%.
So
100%.
All right, quick conspiracy theory time. You ready?
good way to round it out.
That's a sharp left turn.
I can't say if anyone has like actual questions, look it up yourself. Okay, this is just like something I heard. I tried looking it up, but I can't pronounce any of the words. So, did you know that our brains actually, there's a part of our brain, I can't remember what it's called, but it's actually linked to like our spiritual awareness. Like, and it's like proven like this part of our brain is like very closely attached to like how we perceive in the spirit realm, right? Sense of self too, like different things, right, about like ourselves and about like our connection with God and with the Holy Spirit and with everything like that. So this part of our brain, right, there's like a certain chemical that can suppress it, and the conspiracy theory is that the governments or the higher powers of the world are actually putting this stuff in our food, putting it in the atmosphere and all that stuff to suppress everybody's part of this brain that is less spiritual. It makes society less spiritual, less in touch with like the outside of the physical realm.
I don't think anything would surprise me anymore. I think pre Epstein, there was a lot more wariness with conspiracies, like, oh, like it's just a conspiracy theory. And I think after the whole revelation of like Epstein's Island and all that, I think it woke a lot of people up to there's a lot going on that we don't know about. So at this point, I don't think anything would surprise me. So I don't know enough about that to make a judgment call on that. But
it's just a crazy thought, though. It's like, imagine that God gave us like a part in our brain that is like spirit, like that helps us, perceive Him and perceive the spirit realm and live in a different place than just the flesh. But I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying the government can actually put something out that is like suppressing that part of our brain.
I mean, it just goes down to, like we were talking about earlier, with conditioning and thought control and mind occupancy. It's like if you can just keep people entertained, they're not ever going to really make any real change. And as believers, I mean, that's what we're called to do is make change. So I think it's worth some thought, Sam. I think that's a interesting thought.
We're gonna turn it into Alex Jones' show here in a little bit.
They're putting chemicals in the water. They're turning the frogs gay.
Oh yeah. Also, tattoo reveal. Tattoo reveal. So, well, bam. That's kind of hard to see on my camera.
What does it
Cool.
say?
What? Yeah. What does it say?
1 Samuel 3:10. Let's go.
Well, that's a good question. First Samuel. What did you say it was?
1 Samuel 3:10.
First Samuel 3:10. And what does First Samuel? Oh, I'm sorry. You had a question. What does First Samuel 3:10 say? What does First Samuel 3:10 say?
And the Lord came and stood, calling as at other times, Samuel, Samuel. And Samuel said, Speak, for your servant hears. That's it.
Come on, somebody.
But the Lord was standing there next to Samuel, saying, Hey, Samuel, Samuel. You don't say someone's name twice unless you're really trying to get, unless you really care. You're really wanting them to have this conversation.
It's so nice you say it twice.
But essentially, like that scripture sums up the whole story of Samuel hearing God's voice and thinking it's Eli. So it's kind of like the summary, because it'd be kind of get weird getting a tattoo that says like 3:6 through 10, like -10 or whatever. So I just got like the conclusion of that whole story, and essentially like behind it, it's kind of like where my mom got my name from, like the reason I got named after. And there's a little baby somewhere up in Pennsylvania that also has that name for a very similar reason too. So
So Alan, we sat behind the sweetest couple at LCU, and she found out she's pregnant, and they're kind of going through names, and they landed on Sam or Samuel, and Sam was like, he was so honored. He was like, I was devastated. I mean, because I was pushing for Garrett, or I'd even take John's, but
sorry, buddy, you're just not there. Samuel's more prestigious.
I think we're both still honorary godfathers to the child.
I hope so.
Cool.
Zach and Bethany, we love you.
Amen. Well, boys, I really love this episode. One thing I did want to share, though, and this was established through a pretty recent meeting. So now that it looks like all the pieces are lined up, all the things that were missing prior are now here. So I would now like to formally announce. It's an announcement based off of the announcement from the last announcement that we had a while ago that was attempted to be a relevant announcement, but due to complications it wasn't. So you can rewind that twice if you need to. But anyway, so the section that we are going to be introducing is our new scripture reading segment. And I know that we are very excited for that.
Name TBD.
But the book that we are going to be in is not TBD. We are going to be reading out of the book of John, which may or may not be Garrett's first real name. I don't know. That was never clear in the time that I've known him. But I digress. It's going to be a great time. So stay tuned for that.
We'll do a full name reveal for me on that episode.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll just get AI to create some image, and that'll be the name of it.
And then after reading the book of John, we're going to save the best for last and read 1 Samuel.
Amen.
The next,
Amen.
the next episode.
Oh, Lord.
You know?
Yes.
We'll call it the better or the holier episode.
Oh my god.
All right.
Yeah,
Dude, I'm gonna have like so many Johns that are mad at me. There's like so many Johns out there.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with us, Sam.
Dude, that'd be crazy. Like battle simulator, like all the Samuels versus all the Johns. Dude,
There's
we
a
have
lot of
to have
there's a lot of Samuels out there too. So that
not
could
like
be
John's, man. Not like John, man. There's like I think John's like the #1 most popular name in America. Like that's scary.
It probably is.
It is, but Sam's like it's like 2 or 3. I mean, it's not far down.
That's pretty far down.
Really?
Yeah, it's like 27th or 40th or something
No
like that.
way.
Yeah. Look it up.
Hold on, we're gonna find this out. All time or like what?
Like American names. If you go to other places, like it starts getting a little weird. You know, like Middle East, for instance, probably Muhammad. You know, or like whatever.
It's funny you say the name Muhammad. I literally think that is the most popular name in the world. Is Muhammad. I've met so many Muhammads. Like it's crazy.
Ooh. Liam.
Really?
I've never met a Liam in my life.
I've met 3,
Oh wow.
but I haven't met more than that.
I think that was 2025. Let me look up all time.
Okay, come on.
Oh yeah, listen, John versus Samuel. Johns are clearing this one. No problem whatsoever.
Oh man, that's tough.
Not,
Listen,
what are we looking
not
at?
even. Not
Garrett
even
may be
sweat.
Garrett may be the 99%, but I can guarantee you Jesus is going to go after the 1%. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
So you ain't left out, young man. You are not left
Listen,
out.
it's always been about quality over quantity. Okay?
Amen. Come on, somebody.
We're just dogging on Garrett's name over here.
What the heck, dude? Hey, John was the one that Jesus loved.
Okay. All right.
He was also the one that baptized people.
Different John, but yep.
I mean, John's John, brother. Like, it's the same name.
We're not all the same, Sam.
Always.